you mentioned earlier where you wrestled on AEW Dark, and one of the matches was you against Matt Hardy.
Yes, sir.
Which is one of like the GOATs,
Yeah.
like just one of the greatest of all time.
Right.
What was that experience like for you?
Man, it was a crazy experience, man. And like I said, I mentioned before, I was backstage at WWE 3 times, 3 separate occasions. You know, shout outs to Mercedes Moné. You know, it was a crazy experience because at that time, I believe Matt Hardy, I think his father passed away, something like that. It was like fairly. I don't know if it was that day or whatever, but and I found out I was wrestling him, cool, you know, whatever, and it just you could see the look on his face, like he was feeling down about it, but when I was like calling the match with him and talking with him, he was just treated me with the utmost respect and was polite and like he wanted to work, you know what I'm saying? He didn't let like his outside problems like affect what we had going on, you know, so I was just like, this man's a true professional, you know, this is like somebody I aspire to be. This is somebody I watched, you know, in my room eating Cheetos at 5 years old, 4 years old, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had a great match, and it was supposed to actually be like a complete squash match because he was feuding with Darby Allin at the time.
Okay.
And I asked him, I was like, you know, Matt, you know, can I just like get this one thing off? I wanted to do like, you know, make it rain on the top rope, do a moonsault like I did. And he was like, yeah, man, like he was like open. He, you know, he wanted to work, you know, like he really wanted to wrestle. It could have just been a squash match, him phoning it in, going home, and you know, but he, you know, that man's a true professional. So shout outs to Matt Hardy.
Shout out to Matt Hardy.
If you guys can go back and watch the match, you know, it was, for me, I was very impressed with the way it turned out. You know, my first experience on that level.
Right. So it's like, where is your mind when they tell you, hey, you're wrestling Matt Hardy?
Oh man, I was nervous, man, because you get there, they don't tell you like what you're doing right away. You know, they gotta wait till everybody gets there, and you know, production, things like that, and then they have a board where they, you know, write your name in the marker, and it said me versus Matt Hardy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I didn't know who I was wrestling at the time. You know, I don't know. You know, so when they said that, I was like, yes, you know.
That little kid inside of you.
Little kid, yeah, marking out, straight marking out. Yup.
And then you had another match where you teamed up with the main event in a 6-way tag. It's like that's people who also came from House of Glory.
Yes,
what was it like, just like wrestling and teaming with like your fellow students?
Oh, those, you know, main event, those are my guys, man. Shout outs to Midas, shout outs to Jay. Like those are like my real life day ones, you know what I'm saying? Those are like my best friends, literally. So that trip was actually, I believe it was WrestleMania weekend out in Florida. So we was traveling there. We traveled there together, and it was a great experience, man. Like seeing, you know, seeing Private Party there, you know, seeing our friends there backstage, and just seeing how everything worked, you know what I'm saying? And being with my best friends for that experience, just like, it couldn't get no better, you know what I'm saying? It couldn't get no better, and we had a fun match. We wrestled the Dark Order, you know what I'm saying? We didn't pick up the win, but, you know what I'm saying, just being on that stage at that level with my best friends in this business, you know, that I came up with, it's like, it don't get better than that.